Alright, we're going to continue on now with my run of Jeopardy on the iPad. And my 3-day total is 18,400. The last game I did, I won $10,000 even. And I bought all the in-app game packs for this, by the way. Categories for the first round are rodents, the NFL, newspapers, rock and roll frontmen, edible common bonds, and the Wizard of Oz. Alright, let's start the NFL for 200. With players like Joe Montana and Steve Young, this team dominated in the 1980s and 1990s. Who are the San Francisco 49ers? Yep. NFL 400. From the most improved file, in 2005, this team had a 3-13 record. By 2010, they were the Super Bowl champs. Who are the New Orleans Saints? Yep. NFL 600. In 2007, this Green Bay quarterback eclipsed Dan Marino's career record for TD passes. Who is Brett Favre? Yeah. NFL 8. After coaching this team for 3 seasons, Al Davis became one of its owners. Who are the Oakland Raiders? And let's finish the category. Prior to the Ravens, the city of Baltimore had only one other NFL team in its history. This one. Who are the Colts? Well done in that category. Alright, let's go with The Wizard of Oz for 200. The MGM classic The Wizard of Oz premiered in August of this year. What is 1939? Wizard of Oz for 400. The Wizard of Oz won 2 Oscars, one for original score and one for best song. This one almost cut from the film. What is Over the Rainbow? Yes. Wizard of Oz for 600. In 2000, a whopping $666,000 was paid by a collector for a pair of these worn in the film. What are ruby slippers? Yep, worn of course by Dorothy. Wizard of Oz 800. Buddy Ebsen was hired to play this character, but had to quit after he developed an allergy to the costume. And that character was the Tin Man. Alright. Wizard of Oz for 1,000. Frank Morgan played 5 different roles in the movie. A guard, a professor, a gatekeeper, a cabbie, and this. And the wizard was what we needed. Rodents 200. Spaniards named these furry rodents for the Chincha Indians. What are the chinchillas? Yep. Rodents 400. Some of the quills of the Eurasian species can be 12 inches, equal to about half of its body length. And it's the porcupine. Player 2 got that one right. Rodents for 600. These rodents of the plains received their name because they bark like canines. What are prairie dogs? Rodents 800. Contrary to popular belief, mass drownings by the Norway species of this rodent are not suicidal in nature. It's not the hamster. The lemming was what we needed. Rodents for 1,000. A South American delicacy, this water-dwelling herbivore was declared a fish by the Vatican, so it could be eaten during Lent. What is the manatee? Nope, I'm down to 4,000. The capybara, yeah. Alright, we are now going to newspapers for 200. Founded in 1829, this Philadelphia newspaper is known as the Inky. What is the Inquirer? Okay. Newspapers 400. In the 1870s, this D.C. paper was a Democratic mouthpiece. In the 1920s, it stood with Republican President Harding. And it's the Washington Post. Newspapers for 600. Hacked voicemails and shady police connections spelled doom for this Rupert Murdoch paper. Quickly shuttered in July 2011. What is News of the World? Yes. Edible common bonds 200. Irish, Brunswick, Mulligan. What are puddings? They are not puddings. They are stews. Edible common bonds for 400. Crescent, Kaiser, Parker House. What are rolls? Yes. Edible common bonds for 600. Brown, Beurre Blanc, Bordelaise. They are sauces. Blood, Bockwurst, Chorizo. And those are sausages. Alright, edible common bonds for 1,000. Button, enoki, chanterelle. Mushrooms. Alright, newspapers 800. The answer there, the Daily Double. Okay, let's go for 1,200. This tabloid that brought Bat Boy to the checkout line went under in 2007. What is Weekly World News? And I'm up to 6,200. Newspapers for 1,000. The staff of this paper won a 1999 Pulitzer for coverage of Russia's financial crisis. The Wall Street Journal. Alright, well, we have one category left. Rock and roll frontmen for 200. David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth, Gary Cherone, Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth. Who is Van Halen? 400. Roger Daltrey. The Who. 600, please. Anthony Kiedis. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers was what we needed. Alright, rock and roll frontman for 800. Trent Reznor. That would be 9 Inch Nails. Let's see our last clue in rock and roll frontmen. Adam Levine. Maroon 5. So that'll put Logan up to 2,200. Player 2, which is Mary, is at 1,600. She'll go first in Double Jeopardy. I have the lead at 6,400, so a good start for me. Let's see if we can keep it going with these categories. Nearly Impossible, Capital Cities. You probably think this song is about you. Explorers. The L Word World, L in quotation marks. Potpourri, which of course can be anything. And Web Slingers. A cookie derives its name from this Austrian city, which is also home to Pez candies. What is Lenzing? No. Linz. Elworld for 400. Founded as a haven for freed American slaves, it became an independent country in 1847. And that country was Liberia. Alright, where are we going now? 800, Elworld. In a nursery rhyme, they're made up of snips and snails and puppy dog tails. What are cats? Nope. Down to 4,000, and I was off to such a good start, too. Boys. Oh, we went to Potpourri for 400. I didn't realize the category changed. It's a term for a group of grapes, perhaps a wild one. What is a bunch? There we go. Potpourri 1,200. John Harrington was flush with success in the 1590s with his invention of one of these. It's not a rifle. A toilet. Okay. Elworld for 800. Home to the Sami and covering parts of 4 countries. It's in the far north of Europe. What is Lansing? No. Lapland. Okay. Elworld for 1200. This large peninsula extends farther east than any other point on the North American mainland. Labrador. Elworld for 1600. The city of Dublin, Ireland lies at the mouth of this river. What is the Liffey River? Alright. Oh, it's just a guess, too. Potpourri for 1600. Fights broke out in U.S. stores in 1998 between shoppers trying to buy these talking, fuzzy Hasbro toys. What are Furbies? 2000, Potpourri. A quindencennial happens every this many years. What is 5? No, not 5. 15. 15 years. Okay, capital cities for 400. One of 3 capitals. Pretoria. South Africa. Okay, web slingers for 4. On Louis Braille's birthday, this search engine used a Braille pattern logo. And that search engine was Google. Web slingers 800. Famous for its Super Bowl ads, this company's been registering domain names since 1997. What is GoDaddy? Web slingers 1200. This social network started in a Harvard dorm and originally only allowed students. And I have one of these pages myself. What is Facebook? 1600, web slingers. Use the organizer to help make your personal images public at this photo site that's now owned by Yahoo. What is PhotoBucket? No. Either PhotoBucket or Flickr. And I chose the wrong one. Web slingers for 2000. Authorized by the Department of Commerce, all web addresses from eligible schools use .this. What is edu? All right. Capital cities 800. Asian country wedged between 2 giants. Ulaanbaatar. Mongolia. You probably think the song's about you for 400. U2's Pride in the Name of Love is a tribute to this man who died in 1968. Who is Martin Luther King Jr.? Song 800. Hey Jude was written for someone with this last name. Lennon. Alright, song 1200. Wish You Were Here by this rock group was dedicated to founder Syd Barrett. Pink Floyd. That's what we needed. Capital cities 1200. One of the successor states to Yugoslavia. Skopje. Macedonia was what we needed. Capital cities for 1600, and the answer there is one of the daily doubles. And he's making it a true daily double. Here's the clue. One of the stands of Central Asia, Astana. He says Afghanistan, and that is not right. Kazakhstan was what we needed. Finishing off that category. On the Arabian Peninsula, Sana'a. Yemen. And those definitely were impossible capital cities, at least for me. This song's about 1600. Stevie Nicks said this Fleetwood Mac song was about a Welsh witch. Rhiannon. However you say that. Finishing that category. And the answer there is the other Daily Double. And you can skip to 2,000. He's going for 600. His song Moon Over Bourbon Street by the vampire named Lewis was inspired by an Anne Rice character. It is not Tom Waits. Sting was what we needed. Let's see. Explorers for 400. In 1935, Lincoln Ellsworth discovered the Eternity Range on this continent. And that continent was Antarctica. Explorers 800. This Italian explorer in the service of France may have narrowly visited the main Maryland region in 1524. Who is Vespucci? Nope. Down to 7,200. Giovanni de Verrazzano. Alright, still Logan's selection. Explorers for 1,200. In June 1741, this Dane sailed east from Russia. He later sighted Mount St. Elias on the Alaskan mainland. Vitus Bering. Oh yeah, for the Bering Strait. Explorers for 1,600. In 1798-99, George Bass and Matthew Flinders proved this was an island by sailing around it. Devils and all. What is Tasmania? Yeah. And let's see the last clue. In 1497, this Italian discovered Newfoundland for England. Son Sebastian likely sailed with him. It's not Leonardo Fay. Well, at any rate, we're at the final Jeopardy. I don't think it said who it was, but anyway, the category is the movies. And I'm going to go for 1,200. A famous scene from this 1976 film was completely ad-libbed. The script simply read, Travis looks in the mirror. What is Rocky? No, not Rocky. It was Taxi Driver. But nonetheless, I win the game with 7,600, and that'll give me a 4-day total of $26,000. And we'll see you again next time for some more Jeopardy!